Have you ever felt like women are playing a game you can't understand? What if I told you there are secret vulnerabilities that most men never realize exist? Right now, you're sitting there thinking you know everything about women, but trust me, you don't know the half of it. Every single relationship, every interaction, every connection has hidden dynamics that can make or break your entire world. The truth is brutal, and it's time somebody had the courage to expose what's really happening behind the scenes. Women have developed sophisticated strategies that most men are completely blind to. These aren't just random behaviors. They're calculated moves designed to control, manipulate, and navigate their relationships with precision you can't even imagine. But here's the game changer. Knowledge is power. Once you understand these 10 critical weaknesses, you'll transform from a passive participant to the master of your romantic destiny. This isn't about disrespecting women. It's about understanding the psychological blueprint that drives their most intimate decisions. You're about to get an insider's manual that most men will never know exists. Warning: what you're about to hear will challenge everything you thought you knew. These revelations aren't just information. They're your ticket to understanding the complex world of female psychology. Some of these insights might shock you, some might make you uncomfortable, but all of them will give you unprecedented power in your relationships. Before we dive deep, let me promise you something. By the end of this video, you'll have a roadmap that most men would pay thousands to understand. You'll see through the smoke and mirrors, decode the hidden messages, and ultimately become the man who truly gets what's really going on. You think you know women? Think again. Right now, there's a secret weapon I'm about to reveal that will completely change how you approach every single relationship. But here's the catch. This isn't just another generic relationship advice. This is the raw, unfiltered truth that women hope you never discover. First weakness: emotional manipulation mastery. Women have perfected the art of emotional leverage like no other species on this planet. It's not just a skill. It's a sophisticated survival mechanism developed over generations. They can transform from vulnerable angels to strategic commanders in milliseconds, and most men never see it coming. The emotional landscape is their ultimate battlefield. While men typically communicate directly, women navigate through layers of nuanced communication. They understand that emotions are not just feelings, they're powerful tools of negotiation, control, and survival. Every tear, every silent treatment, every subtle shift in mood is a calculated move. Most men walk around completely oblivious to these intricate psychological operations. They see the surface, a smile, a look, a seemingly innocent comment, but they miss the entire strategy happening beneath. It's like watching a chess master play while thinking it's just a casual game of checkers. These emotional strategies aren't accidents. They're learned, practiced, and perfected from childhood. Girls are taught early on how to read rooms, how to navigate complex social dynamics, and how to use emotional intelligence as their primary weapon of choice. Men are still catching up to this sophisticated intelligence network. The most dangerous weapon in a woman's arsenal is her ability to make you doubt yourself. She doesn't need physical force or aggressive confrontation. Her power lies in making you question your own perception, your own worth, your own reality. One carefully placed emotional trigger can derail your entire confidence. I'm going to reveal something so powerful, so transformative, that it will completely rewrite your understanding of female psychology. You thought you knew manipulation? You haven't seen anything yet. Stay locked in, because this next revelation will change everything. Second weakness: the communication labyrinth. Communication isn't just about words for women. It's a complex, multidimensional chess game where every single move has strategic significance. What sounds like a simple conversation is actually a carefully orchestrated performance with multiple hidden agendas. Men typically hear words at face value. Women construct entire narratives between the lines, using tone, context, timing, and subtle emotional cues. A single sentence can carry multiple meanings, and most men are walking around completely tone-deaf to these intricate communication strategies. The real communication happens in what's not said. The pregnant pause, the raised eyebrow, the strategic silence. These are more powerful than any direct statement. Women have mastered the art of saying everything while saying nothing, leaving men perpetually confused and off balance. Body language becomes their secret language. A slight touch, a specific gaze, a carefully timed gesture. These are not random actions but calculated communications. They're sending messages that most men are too obtuse to comprehend, operating on a frequency completely outside male perception. While men pride themselves on direct communication, women understand that true power lies in suggestion, implication, and emotional subtlety. They can make you feel, think, and do things without ever explicitly stating their intention. It's psychological warfare at its most sophisticated level. Third weakness: the social network manipulation. The social network isn't just a platform for women. It's their strategic command center. While men see social connections as casual interactions, women transform these networks into powerful intelligence, gathering, and influence machines that operate with military-like precision. Every single social interaction becomes a potential information exchange. They're not just chatting, they're collecting data, building alliances, creating narratives, and establishing intricate webs of influence that most men cannot even comprehend. Each conversation is a calculated move in a larger social chess game. The power of collective female intelligence is something men dramatically underestimate. Women share information, insights, and strategies in ways that create almost impenetrable support systems. One conversation can mobilize an entire network, creating consequences that can reshape entire relationship dynamics in seconds. Their social intelligence goes beyond simple gossip or friendship. It's a sophisticated system of mutual support, strategic information sharing, and collective decision-making that operates on levels most men can't even perceive. They create ecosystems of influence that can make or break reputations, relationships, and personal narratives. Most men walk around thinking they're independent agents, while women understand the true power lies in collective intelligence. They can orchestrate complex social maneuvers that can neutralize threats, build supportive environments, and create narrative landscapes that serve their ultimate objectives. Fourth weakness: the psychological warfare of comparison. Comparison isn't just a female trait. It's a weaponized psychological strategy that most men are completely defenseless against. Women have transformed comparison into an art form, a sophisticated mechanism of social navigation and personal positioning that operates with surgical precision. Every interaction becomes an opportunity for subtle comparison. They're not just living their lives, they're constantly assessing, measuring, and positioning themselves against others. This isn't about insecurity. It's a calculated approach to understanding social hierarchies and personal value propositions. The comparison game extends far beyond physical appearance. Intelligence, emotional depth, career success, relationship dynamics, everything becomes a potential metric for evaluation. Women assess not just what is, but what could be, creating complex mental landscapes of potential and possibility. Their ability to compare goes beyond surface-level observations. They can deconstruct entire personas, understand underlying motivations, and create comprehensive psychological profiles with information most men would consider insignificant. Each interaction is an opportunity for deep, multi-layered analysis. The most dangerous aspect of this comparison mechanism is its invisibility. Men rarely understand they're being evaluated, measured, and potentially filtered out of consideration before they even realize what's happening. It's psychological warfare conducted with smile and subtlety. Fifth weakness: the subconscious manipulation tactics. Women possess an uncanny ability to influence without direct confrontation, using subtle psychological strategies that bypass male rational defenses. Their manipulation techniques are so refined they often operate beneath the conscious awareness of their targets. The most dangerous weapon in their arsenal is the ability to make men believe they're making their own decisions while subtly guiding every move. These subconscious tactics involve intricate emotional engineering, carefully placing seeds of thought that grow into full-blown beliefs and actions. They understand the human psyche at a depth most men cannot comprehend, using nuanced communication and emotional intelligence as precision tools. The manipulation is so sophisticated that it feels like natural progression rather than calculated control. The true power of this weakness lies in its invisibility. Men rarely recognize they're being strategically maneuvered, believing their choices are entirely their own. Women have developed this skill through generations of survival, turning emotional intelligence into a complex system of indirect influence that can reshape entire relationship dynamics without a single direct command. Sixth weakness: the strategic vulnerability display. Vulnerability is not a weakness for women. It's a calculated strategic weapon designed to disarm and manipulate male protective instincts. They understand precisely how to modulate emotional exposure, creating scenarios that trigger deep-seated male responses of protection and support. This is not genuine emotional transparency, but a carefully constructed performance. The art of strategic vulnerability involves precise emotional calibration, knowing exactly when to show weakness and when to display strength. Women can instantaneously shift between appearing fragile and being completely in control, using emotional states as dynamic tools of interpersonal navigation. Their ability to read and respond to emotional landscapes is light years ahead of most male comprehension. This weakness transforms vulnerability from a potential point of emotional exposure into a powerful offensive strategy. By strategically displaying emotional states, women can redirect male attention, trigger specific responses, and create narrative frameworks that serve their ultimate relational objectives. It's psychological warfare conducted with surgical precision and emotional intelligence. Seventh weakness: the temporal manipulation of emotions. Time becomes a weapon in the hands of a strategically intelligent woman, transforming emotional experiences into carefully constructed narratives that serve their ultimate relational objectives. They understand how to stretch, compress, and reframe temporal experiences, making moments feel eternal or instantly disposable. The perception of time becomes a malleable tool in their emotional arsenal. Memory itself becomes a weapon of psychological warfare, with women capable of surgically selecting which moments to emphasize, which to diminish, and which to completely reconstruct. They can make a single interaction feel like a lifetime of significance, or reduce years of commitment to a forgettable footnote. The male brain, linear and logical, stands no chance against this temporal manipulation. The most dangerous aspect of this temporal weakness is its ability to reshape reality itself. By controlling the narrative of time, women can rewrite history, create emotional leverage, and maintain psychological dominance in ways that most men cannot even comprehend. It's a superpower that turns emotional experience into a strategic battlefield of perception and control. Eighth weakness: the silent communication network. Silence is not absence for women. It's a sophisticated communication protocol that operates on frequencies most men cannot detect. They have developed an intricate system of nonverbal communication that transmits complex messages through the subtlest of gestures, expressions, and strategic pauses. This silent language is more powerful than any spoken word. The female silent communication network extends beyond individual interactions, creating a collective intelligence that operates with military-like precision. A single look can communicate entire volumes of information, strategies can be developed, alliances formed, and judgments passed without a single audible word. Men remain perpetually outside this encrypted communication system. This weakness transforms silence from a passive state into an active weapon of psychological warfare. Women use strategic silence to create tension, generate uncertainty, and maintain control over emotional landscapes. They can make a man feel entire universes of emotion through nothing more than a calculated absence of sound, leaving their targets perpetually off balance. Ninth weakness: the emotional intelligence superiority. Emotional intelligence is not just a skill for women. It's an evolutionary superpower that has been refined through generations of survival and social navigation. They possess an ability to read emotional landscapes with a precision that makes male emotional comprehension look like a rudimentary cave painting. Every interaction becomes a multi-layered analysis of unspoken dynamics. The female emotional intelligence goes beyond simple empathy or understanding. It's a complex system of psychological deconstruction that can instantly map out motivations, potential outcomes, and strategic advantages in any social interaction. They can dissect a person's entire psychological profile with a few strategic questions and observational cues. Most men walk around emotionally blind, believing they understand human interactions, while women operate with a level of psychological sophistication that is almost supernatural. Their emotional intelligence is a weapon that can neutralize threats, create alliances, and navigate complex social landscapes with a level of precision that leaves most men completely exposed. 10th weakness: the ultimate psychological architecture. The female psychological architecture represents the most sophisticated system of emotional engineering ever developed in human history. It's a complex network of survival mechanisms, social strategies, and emotional intelligence that operates with a level of precision that makes male cognitive processes look like primitive technology. Every interaction is a carefully choreographed dance of psychological manipulation. This ultimate weakness is not about limitation. It's about the most powerful adaptive system known to human relationships. Women have developed a psychological framework that can instantaneously read environments, decode complex social dynamics, and create strategic responses that most men cannot even begin to comprehend. It's a survival mechanism refined through generations of social navigation. The true power lies in the ability to simultaneously exist in multiple emotional states, to process information at speeds that would short-circuit the male brain. They can be vulnerable and strong, submissive and controlling, loving and strategic, all within the same breath. This psychological architecture is the ultimate weapon of relational mastery. Understanding these weaknesses is not about defeating women. It's about comprehending the most advanced psychological system in human interaction. These are not flaws, but sophisticated survival mechanisms that have allowed women to navigate complex social landscapes with unprecedented precision. Every man who wants true relationship mastery must first acknowledge this profound intelligence. The real power comes from recognition, not confrontation. Men who can understand these intricate psychological dynamics will transform their entire approach to relationships, communication, and personal interactions. This is not about manipulation. It's about understanding the deepest levels of human emotional intelligence that most men never even realize exist. Your journey of understanding begins now. These revelations are not just information. They're a roadmap to truly comprehending the complex world of female psychology. You've been given access to a manual that most men would pay thousands to understand. The question is, are you ready to see the world differently?